I'm sure you've experienced this. Your phone rings, you see the name, and instead of picking up, you just stare at it. You watch it ring out, and finally, you let it die. And then, immediately, you text them, "Hey, sorry I missed you, what's up?" And the wild thing is, that felt completely intentional. Not lazy, not rude, just right. If that is you, stick around, because psychology has 5 specific reasons for why your brain works this way. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why people like you behave this way, and it is going to make total sense. Let's get into it. Number 1, your brain is not lazy, it is overloaded. Here is something nobody talks about. A phone call forces your brain to do 5 things simultaneously: listen, process, think, speak, and manage your tone of voice, all in real time with 0 margin for error. Psychologists call this cognitive load, and research shows that working memory, the mental space where all this happens, has a very strict capacity limit. Think of it like a kitchen counter. If you are cooking a complex meal, you need space to work. The moment you dump too many ingredients on that counter at once, everything becomes harder and mistakes start happening. A phone call floods that counter. A text message hands you 1 ingredient at a time, lets you set it down, think, and only pick it up again when you are ready. People who prefer texting are not avoiding effort. Their brain is protecting the cognitive space it needs to actually think well. And this connects directly to the second reason, which reveals something fascinating about how these same brains use language. Number 2, your brain has a draft mode, and calls skip it. You know that feeling when you say something out loud and the moment it leaves your mouth you think, "Why did I say it like that?" Yeah, science has a name for that. It is called verbal impulsivity, and it happens because spoken language bypasses the brain's editing system almost entirely. Words come out before the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning and self-correction, even has a chance to review them. And here is where it gets interesting. Neuroscientist Lev Vygotsky discovered decades ago that writing activates a completely different and deeper mode of thinking than speaking does. Basically, your brain has a draft mode. And calls do not allow drafts. They force you to publish your first thought immediately, typos and all. People who prefer texting are not afraid of talking. They just refuse to send unfinished thoughts to people they actually care about. And honestly, that is not a flaw. That is respect. But pay attention to this, because the third reason is where it gets surprisingly personal and a little bit funny. Number 3, your brain treats incoming calls like a jump scare. In 2019, researchers at the University of Washington measured cortisol levels, that is the stress hormone your body releases when it feels threatened, and people who were simply told they might receive a phone call soon. And can you guess what happened to them? Their stress levels spiked. Their brain reacted the same way it would to mild physical danger. And why did that happen? Because your brain absolutely hates open loops. It hates not knowing what is coming. A text is a movie trailer. You read it, you know what the movie is about, and you decide when to watch it. A call is someone grabbing the remote and pressing play with no warning while you are eating dinner. For brains wired towards sensitivity and awareness, that unpredictability is not a small thing. It is a genuine neurological alarm going off. So if your stomach does a little flip every time your phone rings unexpectedly, you are not dramatic. You are just wired to detect the unknown faster than most, which is actually a very specific kind of intelligence. And the next reason is going to explain exactly why that matters. Number 4, they don't overshare, and that is rarer than you think. Psychology has a concept called privacy orientation, and studies consistently show that people who prefer texting score higher in it than people who are comfortable with calls. And here's why that matters. A phone call is an open door. Your voice, your tone, your mood, your energy, all of it walks in uninvited the second someone picks up. You cannot hide the fact that you are tired or stressed or distracted. Everything leaks. A text, on the other hand, is a window with a curtain. You decide exactly how much light comes through. And this is where most people get it wrong. People who value their privacy are not cold or secretive. They are simply selective about what they share and with whom. Psychologists call this healthy boundary management, and it is actually a strong predictor of emotional stability. Think of it like the difference between having a conversation through a closed door versus an open one. Both people are talking, but one of them decided who gets to come all the way in. That quiet instinct to protect your inner world is not a wall, it is a filter, and the people worth knowing will respect it. Now, the final reason is the one that will completely change how you see all of this. Number 5, texting creates deeper connection, not less. Here is the plot twist nobody sees coming. Most people assume phone calls are more intimate, more human, more real. But a 2021 study from the University of Michigan found the exact opposite for people who tend to think and feel deeply. For them, written communication produced stronger feelings of genuine connection than verbal communication did. And the reason is something most people never consider. Researchers called it asynchronous depth. When neither person is under pressure to respond instantly, both people say what they actually mean instead of just what comes out first. Think of the difference between a live debate and a letter written by hand. The debate is louder, faster, more intense, but the letter is where the real thinking lives, where someone chose every word, where nothing was said by accident. And here is the part that changes everything. People who prefer texting are not building walls. They are choosing the format where their most honest, most thoughtful self actually gets to show up. And in a world that rewards whoever speaks the loudest, that quiet preference for depth is one of the most emotionally intelligent things a person can do. So, if you're one of those phone call haters, here's what you're gonna do. The next time someone gives you grief for texting instead of calling, just smile. Because you're not being antisocial. You are managing cognitive load, protecting your nervous system, letting your brain draft before publishing, regulating your emotions, and choosing depth over noise. Your brain is not broken. It's running a more sophisticated program than most people realize. Now, if this video just put words to something you have felt your whole life, hit like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss videos like this. And check out this video right here about 5 weird signs you're smarter than you think. I'll see you there.